Hello and welcome to the International Semiconductor Executive Summit 2020 overview. It's quite ironic that 2020 actually means great vision. However, this year was very blurry for many, to say the least. I'm sure many in our industry saw that from March, it was quite shaky, but the clarity and the movement of the semiconductor industry has been very, very effective from June, July onwards to the end of the year. Now, I'm very delighted that we successfully completed great events in terms of our roadmap for 2020. So basically the ISCS overview that I'm going to explain to you all is basically outlining key areas in specific. One is what happened, how did we do it, the team effort associated, what were the challenges, what we did in terms of ignoring competing industry associations with regards to their movements, and focusing on customer needs and macroeconomics. And then I'm going to finalize this presentation on what's our plan from now to 2025 from a strategic point of view. So what happened in 2020 is essentially that ISCS is now strongly positioned than ever before, especially when you're focusing on the core competencies of the semiconductor industry, which obviously links to our MEMS World Summit as well. We found that this year we had a significant growth of 48.7% in members, which derived from OSATs, IC foundries, and IC design areas. Yeah, the sponsorship memberships has increased in terms of accounts in specific to 37.9%. Obviously, our main focus was pretty much to gather leaders in the semiconductor industry by focusing on the participation of senior director to VP to C-level manufacturing executives for collaboration in our trusted network. One of the greatest accomplishments this year has been that we've delivered 3 out of 4 physical events in 2020 in a pandemic, which is something unheard of. You know, the other industry associations have gone virtual. So we took the initiative, we took the risk, and we successfully delivered. We delivered our major events in China, we delivered our major events in Taiwan. We could have done 4 out of 4. However, due to the event that didn't happen in Europe, which was in Germany, Chancellor Merkel basically announced a lockdown on the week of that specific event. So all in all, it's been an excellent achievement from the team. So what were the challenges this year? And this is a question that I get asked all the time. You know, what were our challenges for 2020? Now, the biggest challenge I feel for us as an organization over the past 5 years was pretty much how do we transition from a good organization to a great organization? And this needed to be done through stringent qualification and customer intimacy. The key points that we needed to find out was pretty much is what do our sponsors and members want? What do our sponsors and members need? And how do we help them become more successful? Or how do we help them become successful? Our mission was pretty much achieved by working very closely with our sponsors and members this year. And it is very fortunate for us to work with these type of companies who really care about their customer intimacy. And they know that we can help them achieve that. And this was pretty much the key differentiator to the previous years. A key point that I need to note is that we didn't abide to the impact that COVID had on our competing industry associations. But what we did was solely abide to macroeconomics, and having that mindset really helped us succeed this year. When you look at it, the semiconductor industry has grown significantly because of the pandemic. The pandemic has put serious demand on silicon. When you look at the projection of 2021, there is evidently going to be an increase in WFE which is evident. And another key point is China is still continuing its investment for sovereign capability, and there is an absolute demand for high performance computing. When you look at this from a projection point of view, even our key sponsors, when you look at their earnings release as of late, whether it's KLA or Bessie or Lam Research or Applied Materials, they're all projecting growth for 2021. So we're going to follow this macroeconomic process. I'd like to show you some graphs which has been allocated from one key presentation that happened at CISES this year, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. When you look at this specific graph, you can see that the future is going to be exciting in semiconductor manufacturing. This is from a foundry point of view. So our key speakers who come from Intel or TSMC or Samsung, they're left to compete on the leading edge, while the other IDMs and foundries are focusing on specialty areas. And this is an area that we are looking at focusing very heavily for 2021. And it is in specific the power semiconductor market in specific. This is a very interesting outline in terms of where the industry is going in terms of a revenue point of view. You can see that chip design costs are soaring to billion-dollar levels, and this is obviously with connection to heterogeneous integration and 3D ICs and chiplets becoming more critical. So the future is very exciting to be in the semiconductor manufacturing world. Here you can see also, with regards to COVID-19 and 5G, that after a short slump in 2019, when you're looking at Q1 2020, the IC market is rapidly expanding to reach full utilization in 2021 and 2022 with $500 billion at a peak. So, the future is just exciting. It's just absolutely exciting. And this is a very interesting point I would like to note to people who don't know who ISCS are. When it comes to the supply chain, our key focus areas is pretty much the R&D provider, the mask house, the foundries, the OSATs. And this is the key area of focus for our perspective. So going deeper in terms of our members who we work with, who are presented in this chart, it's very interesting to see that the silicon foundries are projecting to grow significantly from 2019 to 2024 at full capacity utilization across power and CMOS. So I'm very grateful to be working with every single one of these companies, in specific the heads of manufacturing, of R&D or heads of operations. This is very, very interesting to analyze. So another key area is, of course, we heavily focus on the advanced packaging side of things in ISCS. And it's very interesting to see that I'd say maybe 95% of these companies we work with very closely. And we also have participation from their heads of R&D or heads of operations or heads of manufacturing. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of years, that's for sure. So all due thanks goes to the team globally. We had successful deliveries of webinar series in Q1 to Q3. All physical events were full to capacity, where literally the room was absolutely packed of top decision makers or key influencers in the semiconductor manufacturing industry. We had a robust delivery of agendas, which consisted of incredible speakers, incredible visionaries from around the globe. I think that the pandemic created a natural form of mindsets for the need of collaboration. And if there's something that we are known for, is this need of collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. The reason why our membership specifically increased this year was pretty much because of the webinars. And also our partnerships with key players in the market helped us broaden our brand, helped us broaden our unique selling points, and helped us broaden our value One of the significant points to note is that this year we had a very, very much enhanced presence from Taiwan and from China in specific. And is it because of the pandemic? I believe so, because I think, the situation in the norm situation, people were traveling a lot and etc. And because people are pretty much in a lockdown in a specific country, it actually enabled the possibility to have much more of an enhanced presence from the local region. And this was pretty much incredible to see throughout these events this year. So, as many of our followers know, Dr. Hamid Azimi has been elected as General Chair. His guidance in terms of the advanced packaging side of things has been absolutely impeccable to the success of ISCS. Okay, so one of the key initiatives that we're taking in place for 2021 is having an advisory board restructure. I feel that there needs to be some sort of leadership and some sort of guidance. I must note that the success of ISCS is because of our advisory board members. Their guidance of tailoring the agenda to suffice or fill in the requirements that the industry is looking for is pretty much on point, because we can see this through the satisfaction surveys in terms of the NPS scores. It's been nothing but great responses, and it is because of the direction of the advisory board members. So I thank every single one of these members. Finally, my last slide is pretty much looking at an overview and a perspective from now to 2025. The key theme will be from technology via supply chain to in-depth infrastructure requirements. In 2022, we're looking at an entrance to the US market. I think we're in a very, very good position to get into the US market as soon as possible, but due to the pandemic, it doesn't make sense. So I believe that 2022 will be the right year. We have many members from the US market who are involved in our platforms currently, so it just makes sense. We're going to introduce spin-off special sessions and targeted divisions in specific. So next year, we're going to have quarterly webinars, Q1, Q2, Q3, that will cover specific areas in semiconductor manufacturing. One being the AI chip task force, the other being automotive electronics, the other being memory, the other being advanced packaging, the other being 5G special, and last but not least, the power semiconductor world. And the goal is through our followers, through our members who are going to be involved in these platforms next year in a specific niche per se, what we're looking at is in 2022 is to create individual events for these specific areas. So all in all, it's been a tough 2020, but we have survived a very, very tough year. And we have been very successful this year. And I would like to specifically thank my team. I'd like to specifically thank our advisory board members. I'd like to specifically thank our sponsors, our members, our incredible speakers that we had this year. And really it is you in specific who's helping us deliver our goal of bringing leaders together to share ideas in a trusted network. So all in all, happy holidays in advance. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to working with you. I look forward to seeing you in 2021. Thank you.